So, this past summer, Ebony K. Williams, I think everybody knows who she is, she just had a baby through in vitro fertilization, IVF, and she's a single mom. Now, she was raised by a single mother, and being a single mother, again, is something that's being passed down from one generation to another. So why would a woman of her education, knowing how her mother grew up, become a single mother herself? This is what we're going to explore today. Why are women becoming single mothers when it is not a preferred way to raise a child? Nor is it a balanced, healthy way to raise a child without both parents. We're going to talk about it. So let's get this show on the road. If you like, hit the like and subscribe button for more content. Just look at the list and let's get it going. Let's get busy. You're listening to the Hear Me Out podcast. Hit the like and subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos. Let's get busy. Welcome to the show. Hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos. Hey, we're talking about single motherhood today. Why are women pushing to be single mothers? Now, the statistics show that from up until 1965, 80% of all black children were born after the women got married, after marriage. 80%. Up until 1965. After 1965, up until this present day, in our present day and time here in 2025, 80% of all black children are born to single mothers. 80%. That is unbelievable. 80% of all black children are born to single mothers. Now, we understand that black men, 54% of all black men are childless, are single and childless. 64% are in the middle class. So if 80% of all black children are being born to single mothers, who's fathering these black children? Who's fathering the 80% of black children that are born to single mothers today? Roughly about 18 to 20% of men are doing all the fathering of these 80% of black children born to black mothers.
Frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Huh? If he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved.
So that means Pookie and Ray Ray are having all these kids. Now, in other races, if they were white, we would call them Chads, but in the black race, we call them Pookie and Ray Rays. Pookie and Ray Ray are the two guys in the neighborhoods amongst all these black women that are having all the kids. Pookie got 30, Ray Ray got 30. Pookie don't work a job, Ray Ray don't work a job. In most cases, that's how it is, but not all cases. So you got 18% of black men who are fathering the 80% of black children who are born out of wedlock, that are born out of wedlock. That is an amazing statistic. And what is the cause of it? Well, black women have been taught that they don't need a man. And now you have influential, air quotes, black women like Ebony K. Williams, who is now had a baby out of wedlock through in vitro fertilization. Now, she grew up in a single parent home. She grew up in a single parent home. She said that her mother was actually once a bus driver, but yet she told Iyanla Van Zant that she wouldn't date a bus driver unless he owned the bus. But yet her mother was a bus driver, drove a bus for a living. Now, how is that making sense to a woman whose mother had a job as a bus driver, but yet she looks down on men who drive buses unless they own the bus company, is what she's really talking about. You got to own the company or I'm not going to deal with you. So she goes out. She at one point was dating a chef, I believe, at one time. And she was dating another guy during the COVID period. And they broke up. And so she ended up getting pregnant through in vitro fertilization. Now, the thing about it was when she was dating this other guy, she had already decided that she was going to get pregnant through in vitro fertilization. What was wrong with the sperm of the man that she was dating that wasn't good enough for her to get pregnant by him, that she had to go to a sperm bank and choose someone else's sperm other than his, unless he refused to be the father of her children outside of wedlock? Now, her mother had her outside of wedlock, and she's returning the favor. She's continuing this generational curse, is what I call it. It's a generational curse. She's continuing the generational curse, and she's going to have a baby outside of wedlock too. And it will be perpetuated from another generation, because when that child grows up, if it's a boy or girl, I think it was a girl, she had it this summer back in August, and it was a girl. That girl is going to learn from her mama that having a man just ain't worth it, and raising a child in a two-parent home is no big deal, and it doesn't have to be done that way. But Chris Rock said it best. Just because you was raised in a one-parent home doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. That's not the best way to do it. God never intended for children to be raised in one-parent homes. Here's some statistics that you need to understand about raising a child by a woman raising a child by herself. 70% of all prison inmates were raised by single mothers, single unwed mothers. 70% of prison inmates were raised by single unwed mothers. Think about that. So if you want to populate this prison system, just become a single unwed mother and raise children, and you're going to help populate the prison system, because children need discipline. Now, they did another study and they found out that men, single men who raise their children by themselves, do better or just as good as two-parent family homes. They do just as well as a two-parent family home. Why? Because the child is getting disciplinary actions from a man. And men are better disciplinarians than women. Women are nurturers. They're coddlers. They coddle. They nurture. They're to encourage. But they are not disciplinarians. And so you have the prison system filling up because you got all these unwed single mothers out here raising kids without the discipline, without the necessary discipline that they have. And so Ebony K. Williams, this is an educated woman. She's an attorney. She's an attorney. So with all that education and what you see in society today as women are failing, and here's what she likes to talk about. She likes to talk about where there's not enough men out here who can provide for people, for women on her level. Well, the idea of marriage is a woman to be a helpmate. No man has been created to fulfill all your needs. You were created to help him. That is the definitions of a woman's role in society. God created women to be helpmates. If she is not understanding that she can be a help to a man and a help him achieve and build with that man, then she has the wrong idea of marriage. And this is why you have so many gold digging whores out here today. They want a man to pay for their rent, pay for their hair, pay for their nails, pay for their shopping, pay for everything, and not even be married to him. Those are things that you do for a wife, not for a girlfriend. If a girlfriend says you can't date me unless you pay my rent, you tell her, bye. I'll see you later. There's a bridge down the street that you can jump off of, because I am not going to pay your rent. I am not going to pay for your hair and nails. I am not going to take you on shopping sprees if you are not my wife. That is how it is. But society is also so screwed up today that you got people here on the internet teaching this stupid stuff. Women, ladies teaching this stupid stuff. And what they're doing is they're destroying women's minds and believing that a woman should be taken care of regardless of whether a man marries her or not. And that is not the case. That is not how God created things. If you are not married to a woman, do not provide anything for her except paying for the date. And that is it. That's it. To tell a little story about my situation, I grew up in a two-parent home until I was 13 years old. My dad worked 2 jobs, he owned 2 businesses, and my mom didn't have to work. I had 5 brothers and 6 sisters. That's right, a family of 12, 5 brothers and 6 sisters. Up until I was 13 years old, I was next to the baby of the family. And one day, my mom decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. She never had to work. He worked 2 jobs and he took care of us. We never went hungry. We weren't rich, but we never went without. We always had food on the table. When I got in trouble, my dad whipped my behind as I needed it. And I'm grateful to this day for what he did. And when he did it, and when I needed a butt whipping, he gave me one. But for some reason, my mom decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And so she decided to file for divorce. Now, my sister, who was one of my sisters who was 4 years older than I am, she went wild once the divorce took place. She was running the streets. She ended up getting pregnant by a dope dealer. My dad told my mom, you need to quit letting that girl run the streets or she gonna get in trouble. Now, this never would have happened if my mom hadn't divorced my dad. She ran the streets, got pregnant by the dope dealer, had a boy. Then she got pregnant again by the same dope dealer and had a girl. Her baby boy grew up to be a dope dealer. He was a dope dealer and he went to prison. Her son went to prison. Her daughter that she had by the dope dealer grew up and had 2 babies out of wedlock just like she did. So there was this generational curse that was being passed down from one generation to another. Her son ended up being a dope dealer like his daddy, and he ended up going to prison. His dad never was slick enough that he never went to prison over selling dope, but his son did. My nephew did. He went to jail over dealing drugs. My niece, she ended up getting pregnant and having 2 kids out of wedlock, just like her mother. This is a generational curse. and it will continue unless God intervenes and steps in and breaks it. It is what it is. Now I'm telling you these things because I've seen them firsthand. I seen firsthand how a woman can destroy her own home because she wanted to get her way. That was what my mom wanted. She wanted to get her way. And a woman that'll destroy her own home is a fool. Is a fool. I'm just telling it like it is. It's biblical what I'm talking about. A woman that'll destroy her own home is a fool. My mom never had to work. She never had to work. She had those 12 kids, but she never had to work. She never had to work a day in her life. My dad was a hard-working man. And when I got a certain age, I went and helped him in his business. I worked with him. So, women today don't want to build with a man. They want everything handed to them. But that is not what is written in the Bible about the role of a woman. She wants to try to twist scriptures. Women will like even gold diggers try to twist. You're the man. You're supposed to provide. You're supposed to take care of my hair, my nails, pay my rent. Not if you're not his wife. He isn't. If you're not his wife, you don't get diddly squat. You don't get squat. You don't get nothing. All you get from a man if he's dating you is he pays for the date. He don't owe you no money to pay for your hair, your nails, your rent, your shopping sprees, any of that. If you are a grown woman and you're living by yourself, that's your responsibility. And if you can't take care of yourself on your home, then you need to go back home to your family and live with your mom or dad until you get married. See, there's a process in which things are supposed to take place. A woman is supposed to have a man as the head over her at all times in her life. He is her spiritual covering. A man is a spiritual covering for a woman. If a daughter is born into her dad's house, she is to remain there until a man comes along and wants to marry her. Then she goes from one spiritual covering of a man to another spiritual covering of a man. And that man that married her becomes her spiritual covering, and he's responsible for her from that point on. But society has got this thing all backwards. And now you got women out here who want to do things on their own. Okay, you got the feminist movement. What is the feminist movement about? It's about women being able to do everything for themselves without the help of a man. Well, do it. If that's what you wanted, do it. But if I show up to your door wanting to take you out and you talking about I need to take you to the hair salon and nail salon to get your nails done, I'm going to tell you bye. Because that's not my responsibility. You're not mine. You don't belong to me. I don't pay for your hair or nails and pay your rent until you're my wife. And then you're living under my roof, and that's how your rent get paid. That's when your hair and nails get done. That's when I take you shopping. Not until then. This thing is all backwards, and real men are going to have to step up to the plate and turn this thing around and quit being simps buying stuff for women when they don't belong to you, when you're not married to them. If they don't have your ring on your finger and they don't have your last name, you don't owe them diddly squat. But to date them and to treat them right. Pay for the date wherever you take them and treat them right. That's all you owe them until they're your wife. Amen and amen. Let the church say amen. So we have another famous woman, Keke Palmer, who got pregnant out of wedlock, and now she's claiming that it gives her smooth skin. She revealed her pregnancy openly by showing her belly on Saturday Night Live, and then she went on to say, if you want to have smooth skin, get knocked up. Ladies, get knocked up. So she's teaching you ladies out there, hey, get pregnant. Don't matter. Don't worry about the consequences. Just get pregnant. Get knocked up if you want smooth skin. It's okay. Just get pregnant.
So look, I know you can't see right now because I got a face full of makeup on. But if you really get into it, I want you to see that everything right here is extremely flat. What that means is, even with the discoloration that we're going to get to the discoloration, there's no more of the bumps. There's no more of the rays. So I'm here to let y'all know that I found the secret. I found the secret to clearing up my acne, and guess what it is? You need to get knocked up. Period. Point blank, period. The reason my skin is clear is because I'm pregnant with a baby right now. Do you understand? The baby has cleared my skin up. Get into the poreless. I know it look like this is, you can't tell for real, but I need you to know it ain't never laid flat like this. It ain't never laid. Call me Kiki Wyatt, because I'm about to be pregnant for the rest of my life.
Oh my God. So all you women out there, get pregnant if you want your face to be smooth. It'll get rid of all the bumps. Look how smooth my skin is. If you want to get smooth skin, get knocked up. If you want to have smooth skin, get knocked up. Get knocked up is her call for all you single ladies out there who want smooth skin. How ridiculously stupid is that? Now you got to raise that baby by yourself. You women out there that are getting pregnant without being married, without having a ring on your finger, you're raising that child by yourself, and you're putting that child in jeopardy of becoming a part of the system for the rest of its life. The system of welfare, the system of the prison system. Your child most likely has a 70% chance of being a criminal, sent to prison, spending at least 10 to 15 to 20 years in prison by raising that child on your own. That's really disgusting to think about, but it's something that you should be thinking about, because these are the consequences of having children out of wedlock. These are the consequences of having little bastard babies. Is what they are, little bastard babies. Now, the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines a bastard child as a children to unwed parents. It also describes illegitimate the same way. Illegitimate is a child that is born from parents who are not married. Illegitimate bastard babies go hand in hand. The two words connect perfectly with each other in harmony of making the point of being born without parents, being born in a disadvantaged atmosphere, being born in a disadvantaged home that will forever affect that child because you decided to carry before you married. You decided to carry a child before you married the man who gave you the child. Now, I've seen some Kendra G videos, and there was one woman on there who had been married, had 7 kids by 6 different men on the Kendra G's dating app. And this chick had the nerve to want a man that makes over $250,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year to come in and take care of her 7 bastard babies that she had out of wedlock by 6 different men. Are you freaking insane? Any man that has worked that hard to become a high value man that's earning over 6 figures, especially if they're earning $250,000 or more a year, to come in and marry you and take care of your 7 kids that you had by 6 different men, and thinking they're going to do that, he might as well get a gun and stick it to his head and blow his brains out. Because what he's marrying is a tornado inside a hurricane. He's marrying 7 tornadoes inside of a hurricane, swirling around, sucking the life, tearing up stuff for the rest of his life. And the one thing it will tear up is his life. It's going to tear his life apart if he's dumb enough to do it. If the woman couldn't have married one of those men that she had the 7 kids by, the 6 men that she had the 7 kids by, why in the hell would any man that has worked hard to earn $250,000 or more a year to become a high value man come in and rescue a hoe? That's what you are. You're a hoe. You slept with 6 different men to have 7 babies. Give me a break. And this is the type of stupid stuff that is being portrayed and being pushed on society, even by famous people like Ebony K. Williams and Keke Palmer. This is the stupid stuff that is being pushed. Because what both of those famous ladies are saying is, it's okay to have a baby out of wedlock. One did it through IVF, in vitro fertilization, and the other did it with a man. But the results are the same. You still got an illegitimate bastard baby that's going to grow up disadvantaged. All your wealth and all your money cannot replace a 2-parent home with a man who is a disciplinarian that will raise that child with you. You give him the nurturing and the coddling, and the man gives the direction and disciplinarian. There's no way that you can replace that. You can't replace that. You can't replace it with money. You can throw the money at it all day long and it's not going to work. Your children are at a disadvantage. You have disadvantaged your children by having babies out of wedlock, and it will come back to haunt you. I'm talking like a robot because I want you to understand you have screwed up your baby's life and quite possibly the rest of your own life. I don't care how famous you are. It is ridiculous to go, a 40-year-old woman to go who's an educated lawyer, graduated from law school, has a law degree, and go into a clinic and have someone stick her sperm in her with a turkey baster, as Corey Holcomb would say. Drop some sperm in you with a turkey baster, and you have that baby. But yet, at the time that you were talking about that, because I seen the program on the View, I seen you on the View, and you were dating a chef at the time. So what in the hell was wrong with his sperm that you couldn't use his sperm to have a baby? I tell you why. He wasn't going for it. That's why. He had enough damn sense that I'm not gonna give you my seed so you could raise a baby on your own and use me as a puppet to get you pregnant and use my seed to destroy my seed's life. Man, you need to start treating your sperm like it's gold. And stop sticking your dick in every woman that just wants to have a baby. That just wants to have a baby. You need to start treating your sperm like gold. Like it's gold. Like it's a precious metal. Because it is. These women don't care. They just want a baby. They want a baby. And most of them are low-income women who want babies. They don't care if they ever get married. They don't care about marriage at all. They just want your dick in them to get the sperm so they can have a baby. And that's ridiculous. It's disgusting is what it is. Oh, Lord have mercy. These women out here, they just singing a little song. They got a little song they sing. Stick your dick in me and get me pregnant. I want your baby. And I'm not crazy. I don't give a damn about a dang thing. I just want your sperm to sing inside of me and make me pregnant. Well, so let me wrap this up real quick. Okay. In 1965, 80% of all black children were born to women who were married. 80% of the black children in 1965 were born to women who were married. They were born after the woman got married. Now, today in 2025, 80% of black children are born to unwed mothers. Unwed mothers. Think about that. 70% of all prison inmates are children from single parent homes, single female parent homes, single unwed female parent homes. 70% of all children inmates are from single unwed females who have kids. That is a startling statistic, and you better bet your life it's going to get worse, because we got a culture out here that's promoting this. They're promoting it. Even the famous stars are promoting it. Ebony K. Williams, Keke Palmer. So, if you care about your future and you really care about your child's future, what you need to do is think about getting pregnant after you find the mate that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Your child is going to have a better chance of being successful in life. He or she is going to have a better chance of being well adjusted, and have a less chance of going to prison. Going to prison. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? I gave you some statistics here to think about. If 54% of black men in this country are single and childless, and 64% are in the middle class, you better think about it. Think about getting married before you carry a child. Because if you don't, you're going to be putting that child at risk. And I'm not the only person that's saying the statistics speak for themselves. You can't argue with statistics. You can argue with anything in life that you want to argue with, but facts and statistics don't lie. They're stubborn things. Facts are stubborn things, and they don't favor anybody's personal opinions. They just don't. So, with that being said, peace out. I hope you learned something. Hope it didn't make you too angry, but if so, that's okay. It is what it is. Be blessed. Keep peace. Peace out.